Welcome, 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 welcome to the Dray Way. Yes, you have just come to the right spot. You're at the Dray Way. I'm your host, Drayton Nay. We got a great show for you today. Let's go. Yep, it's time to talk about what we need to talk about. And today, what we need to talk about is deportation. Yes, Donald Trump has declared he's going to declare a national emergency. A national emergency. Do you have any idea what that means with Donald Trump coming into office and declaring a national emergency on deportation? Do you have any idea what that means? Nothing. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it means more talk, more words. Emergency sounds good though. Emergency is a good word, right? National, emergency, both of them very powerful words. National, and then you've got emergency. Wow, it sounds really important, doesn't it? But what does that do to get people from the United States across the border? Nothing. It doesn't do anything, okay? So it is word salad, word propaganda. It doesn't get anyone across the border. Nobody. And everybody's like, oh, Donald Trump is going to declare a national emergency. Donald Trump is going to use the military. Use the military to do what? What exactly is the military going to do? What is the military trained to do? You mean, how is the military going to go get people and then get them from spot A to spot B? And what is spot B? Where are you sending these people and based on what? How are you sending these people to other countries? You act like other countries are like, oh yeah, United States, you want to send people here that we don't know anything about? Oh, sure, yeah. Well, wait a minute. Isn't that what you were complaining about? Weren't you complaining about you're getting people and you don't know where they're coming from? But now you want to gather them together and send them to us? Yeah, no, that's not a thing. Yeah, we're not doing that. You know, it's not like countries are just going to go, okay, United States, you know, you want to send people here for what reason? Why? And why do you think they should come here? What is your reasoning? Do you start to understand the overwhelming? Think about this for a minute. Think about how this is actually done. Think about how you're actually going to put people together. First of all, where are these people going to go? All right. You're claiming that you're going to get rid of millions of people, that you're going to declare a national emergency and get rid of millions of people. Where are they going to go? Where are you going to put them? How are you going to export them? By plane, by bus? I mean, you realize a bus can't get everyone where they need to go. And how are you going to get these planes to transport millions of people somewhere else? How are you going to do this? How? People keep asking people in the administration, how? And you know what they say? Forcibly. We're going to do this by force with great strength and great power. That's how we're going to do this. That's not an answer. It's not an answer at all. That's more BS is what it is, you know. And kind of the theme of today's show is Fafo, F around and find out. You know what I'm saying? If you F around, you're going to find out. And that's what America's doing right now. This is what the Republican Party is heading us into, is F around and find out. Because what you're about to find out is, it's a great talking point. It's a wonderful talking point. We're going to export millions. We're going to protect you real citizens, and those other people that are pretenders, yeah, we're going to shield you from those people, and we're just going to Get rid of him. Does he have a genie in a bottle that I don't know about? Because you just can't simply put your arms together and wiggle your nose or do one of these and think that people are going to magically just go back where they came from. Yeah, that's not a thing. That's that's not a thing. And as far as plans, is there a website? Is there a document? Is there something showing how this is specifically going to get done? Are we just going to have police or the military break into homes and break into to commercial buildings and just start doing surveys? And how is this going to work? And then once you get the people, where are you going to put them? And then once you get them, where are you sending them? And under what authority are you sending them there? Because if I'm Ecuador and you're saying, hey, I'm sending you 1,000 people back to Ecuador, I'd be like, no, you're not. I don't know who these people are. What makes you think they came from here? Prove it. Prove it before you start doing stuff like that. So yes, you can. National emergency. National emergency doesn't mean diddly squat. It's just more word salad, more talk from the Republicans, more blah, blah, blah. We're going to do this and we're tough and we're that. You have no plans. Quit telling me how tough you are when you can't even put out a plan, a specific plan on how you're going to move millions of people. Until you have a plan you can show us, shut the F up. Shut up. Because you just sound silly at this point. But welcome to the Dray Way. In the comments, let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's just more word salad, or do you think there's some real power and strength behind all of this? Let me know in the comments. And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. And by the way, welcome to the Dray Way. More to talk about. Continuing with our theme of the day, Fafo, F around and find out. Yeah, who's the latest victim of F around and find out? Yeah, Dr. Phil. Yes, Dr. Phil is finding out real fast that, showing up and to a rally at Madison Square Garden probably wasn't the best look for you and your business. Yeah, and it's starting to cost him money, real fast. And guess what? Oh, thoughts and prayers, Dr. Phil. Thoughts and prayers. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. You want to know why? Because you effed around, and now you're finding out. Yeah, you're finding out that, when you support a man like Donald Trump, and here you're supposed to be this caring doctor, for women and for women that have been abused, and all these shows that you've had on, it shows that it's just a bunch of malarkey because you basically supported a man that was found liable for rape. Yeah, you did that. So, and you think everyone's just going to forget about that? You think everyone's going to be like, oh, Dr. Phil supported that guy, the one that says he just grabs women whenever he feels like it. Yeah, Dr. Phil, you support that, huh? And now Dr. Phil is like, wait a minute. I didn't actually support him. I never actually said those exact words. Yeah, Dr. Phil, F you. Okay? From me to you, F you, pal. Yeah, you got up on that stage, very proud, thought you were something else, and now you effed around, and now you're going to find out. And you're finding out right now. And it didn't take long, did it? Yeah, because now it's hurting you in the pocketbook. And now that it's hurting you in the pocketbook, you have a whole different attitude. But I can tell you what the American people think. The American people think you sold yourself out. And because you sold yourself out, yeah, you're going to suffer the consequences of that. Yeah, I will not watch your shows. I will not read your books. I will not do anything that has anything to do with you, Dr. Phil. You want to know why? Because you exposed yourself. We now know who you are. So now that we know who you are, we can make the choice to go, yeah, we're done with you. So to Dr. Phil, here's your sign, your Fafo sign. You effed around, and now you're finding out. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you haven't heard about the whole Dr. Phil thing, let me know what you think in the comments. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to talk about. Back when I was a young boy at the time. I was probably 9 or 10 years old. I was delivering the Philadelphia Inquirer at 5 a.m. in the morning, and I had a customer that left me a note. And he said, I have trouble with opening the door with my hands. He says, could you open the screen door and leave the newspaper in the door? So I said, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I can do that. I can do that every morning. So every morning I would, deliver the newspaper, and I had I had 108 deliveries to do. I had 108 to go. So I would, plop the paper. Usually I'd put it underneath a mat or something like that if it was windy. If not, I'd just plop it in front of the door. But I would always make sure to open the door and put his in there, because his latch did kind of stick a little bit. But I would, push the button real hard and jerk it open and put his paper in the door. And after about a couple of months, I noticed that when I went to collect, because every week or every 2 weeks you would go to collect for the newspaper. Back in those days, you would, knock on the door. Hey, I'm collecting. You owe me, $2.85 or whatever it was, And I would knock on his door, and he would answer every other week, and it would be like $2.85. And he would always give me a $5 bill, which was huge. He'd walk to the door and he would have a lollipop in his mouth. It always seemed to be the lemon one, but sometimes he had a red one, sometimes a lemon one. But he always had a lollipop in his mouth, and he always had a little wry smile. And he would walk over and he'd hand me a $5 bill, and he'd say, "Thank you very much. I appreciate everything you do." And I thought, I don't do much. I just leave the newspaper inside the door for him, But he always made it seem like a very big deal, Every time I'd go to collect, "Thank you very much for what you do. I really appreciate it. Here you go. Keep the change." Every time. So about a couple of weeks went by, and my mother were at the store. And I see they have this display of all these lollipops on sale for $0.10. And they're yellow and red and green. You probably remember the lollipops that are in the plastic. You probably remember them, right? Well, they were on sale for 10 cents. And I thought to myself, wow, what a neat thing. I'm going to buy 10 or 20 of them, and in the paper, I will tape a lollipop to the paper. And so that's what I did. I bought like 10 or 20 of them, and I started taping the lollipops to his paper. And I would put the paper in and everything else, and I couldn't wait to go collect the next day, the next week. And I go to collect, and there he is, and he had the biggest smile on his face, and he was looking really tired and really old, And I said, hi, how are you? I said, did you get he goes, "Oh, I get these every day." He goes, "That is so nice of you." He goes, I want to do something for you. I said, no, it's not, that's not necessary. He goes, "No, I want you to have this." And I said, what is it? And it was a little pocket knife. It was maybe 2.5 inches, a small pocket knife. He said, "I've had this since I was a kid." And he said, "I want you to have it because you remind me of when I was a kid." And I said, "Are you sure? Are you sure you've had this?" He goes, No. I want you to have this. And I said, "All right." So, it went on for a few more weeks and stuff went by. And I went to collect, at his house, and a woman answered the door. And I said, yeah, I'm here to collect for the newspaper. And she said, oh, yes, my father's passed away. I said, he's passed away? And she goes, yeah, he was under treatment for cancer, and he died last night in his sleep. She goes, you're the newspaper boy, right? And I said, yeah. And he said, she said, I have a note for you. He wrote a note to me thanking me for making his final days special. And that the lollipops made him feel like a kid again, and they helped him with the chemo, I guess. As I talked to his daughter, he was doing the lollipops because the chemo was affecting his taste buds, and he didn't like the metal taste. And she said in his final days that it was very difficult for him to even eat those anymore. And yeah, I told you that story because sometimes we forget how important little acts of kindness really are. And I know a lot of you are scared with the upcoming administration. And I just want you to know that a little act of kindness can sometimes go a really long way. So don't be scared. Think about doing some type of act of kindness for somebody else and see if that doesn't help you feel much, much better. I'm Drayton Nay. This is the Dray Way. We'll see you tomorrow again on the Dray Way.